For spring 2008, designers are returning to hair full of volume and body. It is springtime and hair is bouncing back. Clients will be on the lookout for voluminous hair, so be sure to have the right products on hand to recreate these runway styles. As one of the most prestigious fashion houses in Milan, Donatella Versace turns to Guido to create the hairstyles for her collection. Guido created a rich, voluminous look to complement the drapey, goddessy styles in her collection.
So at this house, it's quite a bit, she always wants it to feel very rich, and so there's quite a small palette. She doesn't like it too curly, but not too straight. And this season, we're just going more 70s. So there are little changes, but it's always the same woman, and it always has to be rich and glamorous. So there's small changes that you could show clients in the salon, how to use a hot roller, pulling little bits back, using a curling iron, just softly. These can change this very glamorous look for the individual. And we've decided we're going to go for something much smoother, much sleeker. So to put the hair extension in first, to get the hair a little bit more body, a little blonder, as Donatella likes it like that. And then we're having to put Fabricate into the hair to give us a base, doing a round brush blow drying, then clipping that in to set the hair, and then re-blowing it out so you get this very kind of easy looking, beautiful hair, good quality. And then a little squirt of head play, which is a pliable hairspray, just to hold it but not make it stiff. I want it to move on the runway, feel very luxurious and blowing. So very desirable.
DKNY is a classic American brand, and her New York Spring-Summer 2008 collection was quite polished. Guido enhanced the clean, sexy look with a voluminous, simple 70s hairstyle that clients will be asking for this season.
And the look is kind of like a 70s, sexy, easy-looking hairdo. Using a curling iron to achieve that, and some Redken thickening lotion. So I really want it to feel thick, the hair, because obviously thick hair is sexy hair. Rough dried it with my fingers, and then all the flyaways, all the things that sometimes we try and hide in hairs, I kind of slightly emphasise. There's a sort of delicacy about it, there's a sexiness about all those kind of things. If it was too perfect, it wouldn't feel so sexy. If the girls have like a few layers in the front, trying to get that 70s kind of thing, which again is very flattering to bring the hair into the face, and also again very sexy. And then halfway up the length of the hair, just loosely curling the hair round the barrel. You don't want a tight curl, just like a bend, Another key thing to this look, to give it another little bit more sexiness, and always very flattering, is to take the crown, slightly tease it, again it's sexy, feels like younger. But the more it gets organic, this kind of hair, the sexier and more believable it is. I want it to feel believable rather than they've just stepped out of a salon. And I think it's something that clients want more and more, is like an easy looking style.
Now let's go to Milan to see what's in store for spring. Roberto Cavalli received a standing ovation at his Spring-Summer 2008 show in Milan. The designer collaborated with Guido to create the soft, billowing Brigitte Bardot hairstyle to enhance the silk clothing seen on the runway.
It's a very soft hairstyle, which starts off with a lot of product, and it's one that women probably have worn. It's an Edwardian hairstyle, reinvented in the 70s, and now we're reinventing it again. So it's a hairstyle that's been with us for quite a few generations, and just by adding a modern texture, it brings it up to today. And I think any woman would love hair like this for an occasion, and I think it's one that you could actually exaggerate for a woman because there's so much softness to it. I think a client in the salon would really understand it and really enjoy wearing it because bits can fall down, it's not too perfect, and that's what women love. They don't feel restricted too much with a style like this. So I think it's something that you could really push to one of your clients for an event, a wedding. But really, I love it worn with jeans and just like a t-shirt because it kind of looks so kind of cool like that.
Betsy Johnson is known for her innovative creativity and spunk. This season, she brought out the giddy mindset of her quintessential girl with a prom-themed collection featuring trends from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and today.
We're with Italo backstage at Betsy Johnson. This is like the prom I never had.
It is, isn't it? Actually, Betsy this year, she's doing a retrospective of all her fantastic 40 years of work.
Do you know, this is, the prom through the decades, and my hairdresser, Italo, is actually changing the hairdos with the quick changes and everything. I mean, so we're showing every hairdo that the Redken stuff can do and handle.
So she's starting with the 50s. It's always, throughout the decades, there is always a Betsy flair. But we're changing slightly with the hair. We're gonna do, of course, a 50s sort of prom, very Grace Kelly, very brushed, very beautiful, shiny, touchable. We're gonna do the 60s, a little bit like a, not really Barbarella, a little more Priscilla Presley, a little more done. Then in the 70s, we're gonna go into the wave, sort of Gisele kind of hair. And then we're doing a little 80s. So basically, we're doing a little bit of everything.
Oh, it's so inspiring hair-wise, because we're actually changing the looks from each segment, and all with Redken.
I use the mousse on wet hair all over. I comb it all over the hair. It's important that you comb the product throughout the hair, especially for this kind of styles, because you want it to stay from roots to end, because it's quite shaped and brushed and wavy. So, and it has to be quite sleek in a way. So I really need to rely on the products, which is the guts, basically, to extra volume. Then I set it side part or middle part for the 60s, side part for the 50s. I send the girl to makeup because the hair needs to stay for a few minutes. Then they come back, I take off the clips and we'll brush it, and we use a little paste all over, especially for the end, because I want the hand to be totally controlled and to give an extra bounce to it.
This is the biggest party that I've seen backstage.
It's a real show, it's fun, it's, the girls look great, and it's, it's girly. In every woman there is always that playfulness, that stays with you forever. You're 12 years old, when you have dreams and candy stores and sparkles. That's Betsy.
Let's take a look at fashion cut number 2.
So here we are at Roberta Cavalli and getting to that stage where I have to start doing everyone's hair. And what we've done is we've put Fabricate into the hair to just give it some body, because what I want to achieve is a lot of volume. I'm going to be back brushing it, but I need some sort of product in there to give me some depth to the hair, because if I did it otherwise, it would just fall apart, because I want to create a very soft, billowing shape. So I put the Fabricate in, rough dried it, put quite a lot in, so it's in there. So I'm just back brushing the hair to make it really soft. So what I want to achieve is volume, and I'm leaving the ends a bit softer, which I'm then going to catch up loosely. So the thing's all about a soft, sort of sexy, 70s, a little Bridget Bardot inspired, bits falling out, very feminine hairstyle, which I think, women love to see.